Hello everyone, Reggie Time here with a live play episode from the Unibet 25 and L tables. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, just like a little intention I've set to steal a phrase from Daniel Negreanu. It's my intention to have at least 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel but you watch it regularly, please do. If you're new to the channel, first time you see one of my videos, again, please subscribe. And also, because it helps videos do better, and we all like to have good numbers next to our good statistics, if you could hit the like button if you enjoy my content, if you could share the video if you enjoy it, if you have various poker forums you go on, Facebook groups, whatever, with your friends, who cares, share it or hit the like button, whatever, just do anything you can to help support the channel. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, let's play some poker. Let's see what's going on. Been playing for about half an hour already. Tables are just starting to break up. It's pretty early in the morning. There's only 42 players in the lobby, so it might not be the longest session ever. Reads I have on people is Tweedledum appears to be a pretty tight regular. Ace's bot's playing several tables, but doesn't seem that good. And Dinger over here is, I think, a recreational player, as is Big Carlos. And we might be looking for a replacement table for table 2 shortly, because as Ace's bot doesn't seem that great. He is playing at every table that we're at, so he's probably some kind of regular that just doesn't really know what reloading's all about. What I'm effectively saying is table 2 doesn't look like it's going to be like particularly profitable table, so we'll probably get a shut of it shortly. Get another one in its place. You know, min raising the button. He's made it 75 this time. We're going to take a chance and call. Tweedledum hasn't been massively active so far pre-flop. You can say it has been pretty tight, so we might be able to get away with seeing a flop. That is a pretty big bet versus my Miss C bet against someone who's probably a recreational player, not reloading, almost certainly overvaluing a pair. Don't expect to get much action from from worse hands. If it was to raise, I wouldn't expect better hands to call. I don't think the sort of player is going to be folding a pair too often. I'm just going to bet twice now with that King Jack of Spades. If we get raised, we're probably just going to fold. So I think we'll leave this table. Next big blind at this table and just get rid of it. And we'll have to wait a moment and then give a new one up. That's the plan. They'll continue playing heads up, so I have to leave it blank for just a moment. Now we're going to again bet twice now with our gut shot after Ace's bot checks back. The King for 4-3. I'd imagine he doesn't have too much of a hand. And as soon as I see a change in the lobby stats, I'll bring up another table 2, but right at the moment the lobby stats haven't changed, so I'd imagine that I just get taken back to that same table again, which isn't what we want. Just flat here with the King Jack suited in position. I like to 3-bet suited gappers, but King Jack plays just fine as a call, so we don't need to 3-bet it pre-flop. And if we do 3-bet all our suited gappers, we'll probably end up 3-betting too many. Not a particularly good flop for us, so we're just going to let it go. I'm experimenting with just min raising from the cutoff and button and 3xing from the spots. as much as anything, that's just a convenience thing. I'd rarely 3x in the button. And on Unibet, it's kind of like it takes 2 clicks to make a smaller raise size pre, so it's as much a convenience thing as anything else. I don't think it makes a huge difference between making it 60 and 50. So I'll save on the error size and just make it 50. So we should be able to find a new table now. For table 2, and we have there's only 39 unique players in the lobby now, and I'm 4 of them. Ace's bot's another 4 of them, I think, if he's still around. So these games might die quite soon. This might be like the world's shortest video, who knows. I don't know if these games completely die overnight or not. I've never been up early enough in the morning to see what it's like at 7 in the morning. Whether they go 24/7 or not, I doubt they do. But they might, who knows. If we do end up just 2 tabling, then it'll mean that we've got 2 good tables. I won't be quitting while Big Carlos is still around. There's €14 hopefully going spare there. Hopefully he'll lose that money before he quits. Hopefully it'll be to us. And I won't be going too far whilst Dingo's still around either. This bot looks like he's having some more connection issues. Either that, I was just playing too many tables and spoiling everyone else's life. One of the two. We've got this Symbion as well, Symbionth. The games don't look too great right now. But whatever, we'll play them. I don't think I'm going to have too much of a big win rate against just a lot of regulars, but I don't think I'm going to be an underdog to them either. So for the sake of continuing with the video, we'll do just that. Had I not been making a video now, had I not bothered, I maybe would just call it a night and do something more interesting instead. Woohoo, I've unlocked a table background. Go me. I plan on using it in a hurry, but we've unlocked it. I'm not defending ace-8 off versus a 3x. We're going to 3-bet or fold it. We'll start by testing this player out with the 3-bet. We haven't got involved with him yet. See what happens. We're just going to check back the ace-5. I do not expect Carlos to be the guy that folds any pairs, and ace high has a little bit of showdown value. So it does against Jack Deuce. Fold it, Carlos. Fold it, Carlos. Yes, the Carlos has just gone broke to somebody else, which is unfortunate. Hopefully he's going to reload. Seems like a nice turn card down on table 3. Seems unfortunate. It seems like that opponent doesn't have anything given his snap check back the flop, but oh, happy days. Right, so do we... I think I'm going to check jam here. Don't expect to have a 4 very often at all, of course. You can have some miss hearts. Problem is you might check back some ace highs, but I don't expect to call with ace highs, so didn't even bother bluffing with his miss flush draw, so I don't think we could have made any more money there. It didn't seem strong. He like check back flop, just call turn. I mean, how strong can he be? So I kind of thought giving chance to stab rather than just go for a thin value bet on a double paired board. And let the bottom pair go here. Which is that size, we're just going to jam the queens. And we're into kings. Which is most unfortunate, but what are we going to do? So we flopped a gut shot and 2 overs versus dingo. We're not going to raise on this board texture though. I think we'll just call and play a turn. And he checks back and we river a 10. We're going to check and decide. We fold versus a small bet and call versus a big bet, which is that half pot size. I guess we have to pay this off. And we lose to the straight. Which is kind of annoying, but what are you going to do? Donks again here. Top pair, good shot. Seems like a good spot to call. Could raise this turn for some value, but it makes much more sense just to call. I think we can't handle the raise if he puts a raise in. Double gut shot here on table 3. I'm going to check back the flop and then get aggressive on some turns. Turn a pair to go with our double gutter. See a river. He min 3-bet pre-flop. He's gone check, small pot. It's a line that fish typically use when they're strong, not when they're weak. So we'll just fold it. And by now I'm starting to think that Javik is definitely a fish, given how he's playing. So I'm going to treat him as one going forward. I'm not going to see bet that board. Given he didn't bluff the river last time when we checked 2, and there's not really much point bluff catching versus him this time. So we just go for like a blocker slash blocker type bet, and he just randomly call with ace high, which is something we'll take, of course. Note to self: do not bluff versus Javk, whatever the fuck it is. Note to self: do value bet thinly versus Javk. Min raises, which isn't pleasant, but we just put odds call. Queen's a good card on the river. Gives us a chance to bluff catch now. Certainly I'm going to bluff catch. I don't like it because he's shown how passive he is. But yeah, we're just too high up in our range to fold here. And he just had nothing, which we'll take. Well, he had the gut shot. Action, it's coming thick and fast. Just going to see bet here with our backdoors against Abronoff on table 4. Going to continue on an 8, on a club, on a queen. So the queen of clubs seems like a really good card to continue on. I'm actually going to overbet 2, I think. Shouldn't hit him too hard. It's not a good spot to try overbetting. Pair and a good shot on table 3 versus Jav K. How can we possibly fold that? Although it's fucking diabolical good shot. We make it though. We get there with that gut shot. The action is a little bit fast. I have played a hand in a way that you'd like me to explain why I played it that way, please do feel free to ask in the comments. But if you could timestamp it for me so I could go straight to it, that would be handy. If you just say, why did you do this with Jack 7 off suit, and not give me a time, I'm not really going to know. But if you can put a link to the time, or if you can't do that, just type in the comment section what time of the video it is you'd like me to look at, then I'd be happy to respond. If it's something really dumb, it's usually like a lack of concentration or a misclick on my part that I've just not noticed because I've been yapping too much about something else. Here we go with aces pot again. Oh, wow, that's a big 3-bet. Mind it, not so that big a support given that I 4x'd it, but I can let it go. Seems to have 2 sizes, aces pot. Mini sizes and big sizes. Nothing much in between. Wow, he just like jams that flop. And he just caught. What a lot of spew there was there. What a lot of spew. I mean, I guess he was short, so he guessed, yeah, I understand it, but don't think it's particularly good. Not a great flop against our friend Jav. Really good turn card. Good shot and a flush draw on table 2, or backdoor flush draw table 2 versus the min donk. We're going to raise it up. Hope not to get 3-bet because that would kind of stink. We take it down. So it's looking like Flieger might be some kind of non-winning player. Can we really get a 3rd street here? I know we said we can value bet thinly versus Jav, but that seems too thin. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't too thin. Hey, by gum. Maybe it wasn't too thin. That seems like a pretty impressive turn. I was hoping he's going to go for his like bigger bet. Just don't think he has anything here. I'm going to wait till the river. I'm going to put a big raise in. Oh, Queen Jack. What on earth? Sweet baby Jesus. And all of those little orphans. That seems silly. Not sure what's going on with Jav, but it sure is fun to play against. I'm just going to start making these button raises bigger because of Jav. We're obviously going to snap this off. And we do not win. It's kind of unfortunate. We don't want Jav starting to do that sort of shit. Because we don't need him to do that stuff. He's so bad. We don't want to be getting in all these, like... That's his best shot, really. Is me allowing him to get it all in pre versus me. Now, of course, I'm not saying we shouldn't cut, because of course we should cut off with ace queen versus him for that stack size. But we don't want that to be happening too often, because we're more than happy just to, like... No, he's dead. Oh, he's not dead. Go on, you big queen ball. We like that. Actually going to check back this versus two players. We certainly don't have a 3-street hand. Table 4. We're going to bet the turn. Probably check back the river if we get any action. Did not want him to lead that river. That's what I didn't want to see. Spades missed. This thing we can't call. I think it'd be a weak call, given that we only have the second pair on that board. So it's irritating, but and there's a reasonable chance of being bluffed there, but nevertheless, don't think it will be a good call. Oh, Jav, how the fuck do you fold? That seems unfair. And Tweedledum check calls on table 1 after being the razor pre-flop. I think he's going to mostly have something between some kind of pair that isn't the king. So I'm kind of just going to try and make some sizes and just price him in to keep calling with, I don't know, 10-9, pocket tens, that type of thing. Check raises me. If he's got the 8-6, then he's going to get all of my money. That's for sure. We have to call this river raise over here. Not a hope we can fold here. Just have to call it off, and we lose 2. They're not flush, which is pretty unfortunate. That's annoying. Should have opened that ace. Pretty annoying when someone makes like a pretty weak float and like just backs into something. They're practically drawing dead on the flop and they back into it. Not much you can do about it. When you run salty, you just run salty. You've got to get on with it. And I'm going to presume Tweedledum would have been jamming that river on bricks too. Yeah, it's irritating. Of course it's irritating, but what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? It's important to like continue to play well after that happens, because yeah, you could be annoyed, but focus too. We could raise possibly even for value here against Jab. We did 4x pre though. I don't think we have fold equity against this type of player. If he has got a pair, there's not a chance he's folding it. If he pots this turn, it's going to be annoying, but we're going to have to fold. And do we have showdown value here against this guy? Who knows? 4-7. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It might just be our night to be getting leathered by the poker suck stick. It might just be one of those nights. I'll check raise here with my 2 pairs. That's a big bet with bottom pair, no diamond. Raise dingo with 2 pairs. Oh no, on the table with jabs being closed. Now that really does fucking suck of the highest order. So the premium fish with lots of money just quit on us through no fault of our own. We'll probably beat here by dingo, but what are we going to do? We've got 2 pairs against a fish. And we're crushed by dingo. Yeah, all in all, it's been a pretty fucking rancid session. Been getting walloped all over the place. Again, not very much you can do about it, given the way the hands have gone down. So I feel like I made a mistake, like what, queens into kings. Been stuck out on a couple of times. Been the wrong side of coolers. Yeah, really isn't much you can do about it. Just as Phil Helmy says, just man up. Man the fuck up and get on with it. The most annoying thing about the session so far is having that table closed with Jav T on it. That was just had to swallow. Just gonna complete. Also, when Tweedledum backed into the nuts as well. Yeah. So yeah, you could maybe make an argument for finding a couple of folds somewhere down the line, possibly with that the ace-9 when we were. But the thing is, when I got 2 pair or better, I'm just not going to be looking to fold it that often post flop. 2 pairs just too strong most of the time. And especially that situation you've been in, when the check raise turn, jam river, a guess there. And then when a fish like bet 3 bets you. But again, we've had 2 pairs, you know, people can just have worse. We've seen people turn up with worse. And you've all seen it in your own games. It's easy to second guess yourself in these spots when, you know, that you're always running at the top of people's ranges. Could I have done better? Could I have done this? Could I have done that? And maybe upon review, I'll look back and think, yeah, I could have done something better. I'm not going to go and stress over it too much now. Certainly not going to go back and look at the hands because nothing much can be gained from that. But I'll look at them after the session, or I'll try and look at them if Unibet's replay allows me to. And well, maybe we can look back and think, yeah, maybe I could have saved a couple of quid here or a couple of quid there. But by and large, you're not going to find me advocating to fold 2 pair plus post flop very often. Certainly not against players who we don't think are particularly good, because he's going to make like mistakes with the value hands. And Dingo could easily just have like a reasonably big ace there and just presumed his ace was the nuts. He might not be that bad. He might not be as bad as I think he is. But Regis is the fish. Regis is a bad player, so therefore I won't be making as many big folds against him. Just the way it is. Really not a big fan of getting it all in pre-flop in no limit hold'em cash games, unless I have like kings or aces. I mean, I'll do it, of course I'll do it, but I'm much more of a post-flop player. I think most of my swings come when, in fact all of my swings come when we're just like all in with cards to come. You're just like, you're just not in control, are you? You know, you're just like, whatever, you are where you are. You've usually got equity, and I'm much more of a keep pots small, blow them up when I have something good against morons sort of player. I don't like being forced to play for all my chips pre-flop, unless I have like an incredibly nutted hand. But it is what it is. You know, we can't fold certain things. It's got to. If that's the way people are going to force you to play, it's the way you're going to have to play. It's just not something I particularly enjoy. I don't think it plays to my strengths. I'll probably check raise here on table 1. Don't get a chance to. We might be folding the best hand on table 4, but c'est la vie. Again, I've been min racing, but because I think there were 2 fish at the table on table 4 with 3x. So here we are in the quiet after the storm. We had a bit of a spell where it was completely action-packed, and now it appears to be completely opposite. Normally raise 5-3 suited from the bottom, but not with the fish in the blinds. They're going to fold enough, and then we're left with 5 high against the calling station. Would normally squeeze, or would think about squeezing ace 2 suited, but again, because of the small blind stack size, we're just going to come along for the ride. That will be a squeeze a lot of the time if both of the guys had around 100 blinds. Flop a good shot, but when Ugly C bets into a fish, you're going to have to give him credit for having something, you would imagine. That will be a set on table 3. And we get check raised. I like that. I'm just going to put a small raise back into him. We want to get that pot built so we can get all the money in. It was just a single raised pot. We have $20 to cram into 7, so we want to be betting around 5 here. Jam the river. Pretty obvious at this point he has a hand. Just hope it's going to be ace jack or something and not pocket sixes. 5-4. Wow. Do me a favour. So it's that 4th time we've been felt in this video. Absolute car crash of a session. Not much we can do about it. I mean, sometimes when I've had these sort of sessions, I'll be like, you know what, let's call it a day. But there's so many players at the table that just seem bad that it's like, whatever, yeah, we're down. We're not going to get out of this session. I'm not tilting here. We're just going to overload him because of his stack size. We're not going to get out from under this session. We're going to be finish the session and lose or whatever happens now, because I think I'm stuck about €125. So we're not getting out. This session is finished in terms of being a winning session, but we're still in a profitable situation, so we just have to carry on. Cash games never end. It's all one long session, etc., etc. So who knows, if we can claw €25 back from now to the end of the session, then it's been worthwhile continuing. And that's just how you have to see it. Oh, another set against Ugla. Get ready with the reload. Oh, this time we win. This time we win one. Go us. How's that for a bit of positivity? Getting ready with the reload after the jam. Motherfucker turned equity though, didn't he? Again, drawing virtually dead on the flop. Oh, we'll just give the fucker an extra 9 outs with the river. Why the fuck not? Why not Unibet? Why not just... Might just suppose it worked out for us that time. But I don't recall making a video with like 41 minutes in. There's been at least 5 or 6 all-ins. I'm not an all-in type of person. It's not my style. I don't do lots and lots of all-ins. It's not how I do poker. So yeah, it's been a different video from like one I used to producing. And in a strange way, I've enjoyed it, even though I'm fucking buried. I've actually enjoyed it. Because who doesn't enjoy playing against players that you feel you have a significant edge over? I don't normally see but ace queen, but we do have the backdoor flush draw in this instance, and 2 overcards, so we think we can be justified in taking a stab. A float one here versus Tweedledum. We might still have the best hand. We have the backdoor hearts. Oh fuck, and then I'm fucking min raised by mistake. What a fuckwit. That was not part of the plan. But we've turned top pair. Fucking go us. We've turned top pair after misclicking. What's not to like about that? I'm going to check raise Ugly here. Given his stacks out, we can check raise to around this size and just shove the turn. No 8 on table 2, which is disappointing. Pocket ace might still be the best hand, but I'm not going to see that into 2 players. Now I think we have the best hand. The sad thing is I don't think either of our opponents have very much, so I'm going to bet pretty big though, just because of like the fact it's double flush draws and there's some straight draws out there. face a small 3-bet on table 1. I think we're going to have to peel versus that sizing. Not anymore. Normally it's been King 10, but this player doesn't have a full stack, so we're going to assume we have big advantage over him in terms of skill. Positional disadvantage, card, maybe minor advantage. Probably should have stabbed that turn after he checked back. I wasn't concentrating. We flop another set on table 4 this time. Given the pre-flop raise I didn't see, but it looks like we're going to struggle to get action, but our friend there does call. I think the jack's going to prevent us getting action some of the time here, but from like 8x and things like that that now don't want to call, but we have to keep putting the pressure on in case he has an overpair or flush draw. If he folds an 8, so be it. It's not the end of the world. It's not really what we're looking to get value from at that point. We're looking to charge draws and hopefully he's got some kind of 2-pair hand or something, or weak overpair. Doesn't miss many chances to raise blind versus blind, doesn't tweedle, so we'll try him out with a 3-bet with the 3-6 suited, see what happens. Doesn't miss many chances. We haven't been getting too many walks from him, and we haven't been getting out of line versus him, so that's usually going to be fine unless he wakes up with the hand. That's going to work a lot of the time. Again, fish in the blinds, well, at least there's a few more chips here, so we'll play the 4-6. Not as happy doing it as I am when people are deeper stacked, or I'd rather raise these hands versus like nitty regulars or fish, but whatever. This 3-bet's nowhere near big enough, we can't fall to it. Just hope for a sea of red. Didn't get a sea of red, we did get a gut shot though, and I think we can definitely float once here and look to put lots of pressure on low turn cards when he checks. If he double barrels and we miss, we're just going to fold. But when he double barrels, I'm just going to give him an overpair, give him credit of an overpair most of the time. And we're not going to get out of line versus that. I think a lot of players there will see bet ace king, give up, or just that double barrel overpairs only. I don't think we're getting double barrel by ace high too often there. Club a gut shot, but we need donks for that size. What are we going to do other than fold? Overlimp the virus versus a fish limping in, who doesn't have much of a stack. Not getting a great price to call here against Ugla, but if we go multi-way, we'll... Sorry, I meant overlimp the 7-6, sorry, and now we're not going to call. Got a bit confused, never mind. I knew what I was talking about. I thought I had pocket fives here as overlimping, but I didn't have the 7-6, which I still think is a fine overlimp. But once somebody raises, then we just have to let it go. And Ugla is now in bad shape. I'm going to be willing to bet his chips will be flying pretty quickly now. I'm going to fingers cross he doubles up through Symbiont or somebody. I tend not to see bet bluff versus two players, even when I have like some equity like I have there. Not big into c-bet bluffing on ace-high boards in multi-way pots. If he checks through again, I'll probably just bet twice. I don't mind bluffing now because you'd imagine a good ace would have stabbed the turn, especially on that brick. So if someone's slow playing an ace against me now, then they're going to get two streets from me. Eight deuce, what the fuck? What the fuck have I just seen? My eyes, they're hurting. Certainly going to squeeze the ace king here. Fingers crossed Sambioth gets the fuck out of the way and we get to have some fun with Nist or whatever the fuck it is. Certainly don't want to be getting 40 euros in pre-flop with ace king. Although I am now willing to get 14 euros and 19 cents in. We want to get in two streets, I think, don't we? So if we bet anything around there, we can just jam the turn, can't we? It's fine. Well, he can just fold, which is unfortunate. Going on here, by the way, we're going to put one of these three players in a flop and whatever. Calling whether a good shot, win a lead when we hit, or if we hit. We didn't. So we can't. Now table 1 looks dreadful. Looks like we just got 3 reasonable regulars at it. So we're going to be getting off it, and we're going to be joining another one if there's another table available. Which there is, so we're going to leave this next blind. Where's this side? We just can't fold anything. I mean, Queen 3 is a miserable holding by any stretch of the imagination, but he's made it like 4 blinds more. What are we going to do? Probably going to double barrel versus his checks here. With a small 3-bet pre-flop. He hasn't stabbed this flop. So we're probably going to bet twice unless he's going for some check raise, and then we're screwed. This board doesn't rate to hit people who make small pre-flop 3-bets. And we have had a fish just join, but never mind. We're not going to play 5 tables, so we just let the table go. It's not the end of the world. And we'll slot this one in its place rather than do our usual reshed, like move all the tables around. We'll just slot that one in there. It's not so confusing. Interesting, Dingo's 2 tabling. Maybe Dingo's not as big a fish as I first thought. Or maybe just a fish that plays 2 tables, who knows. He's certainly not a good player. And I'm not trying to pretend he's good, but maybe he's not a flat out fish. Although I suspect he probably is. Table 2's not great either, is it? We have Kos, who's got €10. So kind of got 3 regulars battling over €10, which is far from ideal. Overlimping the 3s. Don't think we're getting that punished for it at this table with Supreme and Albanov behind. Don't like the 6-7 off, but we're in position against the guy we want to play pots with, so don't mind taking a flop. I might just donk here. If this, whatever the fuck his name is, doesn't have an ace, he's going to have to fold a lot, and if he does have an ace and he just calls, then we're going to at least have a nice clean 5 to hit. Move back into something else, but we don't need to. And I don't donk very often there. But when you know that the raiser can't really bluff you, can't react to your donking like an aggressive fashion because he's got to worry about the fish behind, it makes donking as it brings it onto the table at least. It's something you can do. If I wouldn't have donked there had the fish been to my left, because if he folds it then just gives a regular license to raise me. I'm gonna 3-bet here just to isolate this short stack character with the ace king. And we hold, which is better than the kick up the bottom. Wasn't exactly a massive pot, but that's okay. When you're buried, you know, you'll take it. You'll take those little like crumbs that are thrown at you. Kind of, it's not nice to put a losing video out there, but you don't see many videos where guys get crushed. I mean, Doug Polk's put a few out when he's been doing that bankroll challenge, but most video makers, they're like, well, they just don't show them. I mean, they're always winning. And let's face it, it's poker, we don't always win, so yeah, putting one out where we've got crushed. For my detractors, they'll have enjoyed it, and for the rest of you, hopefully it's given you some good insight into how I react when things don't go my way. Usually it's stoically. Check raise very big on this board. I would check raise my sets big, I would check raise my flush draws big. You can't just fold over pairs to me here. And if he is stabbing wide, then never mind. Pool is starting to drop now. It's down to 36 players. And we know that's not 36 unique players, so all it was going to take is a couple of regulars to quit, and I think it'll be like good night Irene, but no, we've managed to get an hour in the can, so and I'd like the games to keep going because I think we're in some pretty good games, but if they don't, they don't. Another, like this 2222 character seems to like he might be on his way to quitting. Oh no, sorry, I got him mixed up with somebody else. I'm wrong. Whoever it was to my left he has gone. I thought it was the guy with all the numbers on his way out. Come on, Tweedle. I'd have taken some action from you there. Not much of a 3-bet dingo, so we're going to just try and see a flop with two players with Queen Jack, which is obviously a strong hand. I'm going to go for a check raise. Sometimes I'll lead out there, but feeling the check raise this time, feeling it. loads of draws can call here, so fingers crossed we'll get some action. Oh, diamond, that's not good. He doesn't have to have flush draws. The problem is we've got such a weird stack to pot ratio now. Do we want to check, risk a diamond coming off and then have all my equity blown? Do we want to bet and then force him to kind of have a flush to stay in the pot? I think we'll check and decide. Don't know anything about Yeah Bunny, but I don't expect him to be bluffing using that sizing. It's quite annoying. I'm just going to let it go. It's very annoying there, but it's called a big check raise and then he's bombed the turn. I think if he has like ace X with the ace, like ace jack or ace queen with the ace of diamonds, he gets to bluff there, but I don't know. It didn't seem like a spot where I wanted to put whatever it was, 14, 18 euros, was it? 18 euros, something like that. Didn't seem like a spot for 18 euros more to me once that diamond came off. And it looks like Abramov wants to go to bed, so we're probably going to start widening our range versus him if he continues with this all-in rampage. Really? 50 blinds? Probably not. Probably just going to let the nines go. So as you can see, even though it's been a frustrating session, and I am like audibly frustrated, hopefully demonstrating the importance of allowing yourself to be frustrated while still striving to play your best, like being disciplined and what have you. It's really important. If you're indisciplined and you just allow yourself to spew your money away when you're a bit tilted, then you really are going to have a hard time making money at this game. That's a sizable turn barrel. I think we can't fold just yet though. Hopefully he slows down on this river. And we chop it up. I'm just going to shove this turn actually against, because if he's got a queen he's not folding it. Yeah, 10 jacks just got there, but just tons of draws he can call with, back pair plus straight draw and stuff. Queen X is not folding. Got like an SPR of just over 2, so it's a bit of an overbet, but at the same time his stack's just so small. I think he's going to feel like committed with pretty much any kind of like draw or pair. Excuse me. Dingo, do not stack the Abramov. Don't do it. You didn't do it. Good lad. We don't want the Abramov going broke. Not to. Dingo. That's a good shot home on table 1. Shame there's no money in the pot, but what can we do? This is a pretty bad card because it makes it obvious even to a fish now that they can't beat it straight. It's quite annoying. It means we have to like size our bet down a little bit. I mean, definitely misses value from like any weird 2 pairs he can have, which is irritating. Could 3-bet this guy here, but he hasn't raised very much at all, has he? So he could just be like really strong. I was about to say it'd be pretty rank to get raised here on table. Get raised on the river, you just usually toast. But this pot is just like so small. I expect we'll beat here a ton of the time. Pocket 8, wow. You don't want to be flopping sets against regulars. You don't get paid by regulars, you get paid by fish. You want to flop your sets against the fish, don't you? That's what you want to be doing. Flop sets against a regular on a 3-4-5 board in a pot that's been min-raised pre-flop. It's not a situation that's likely to generate a lot of money for us. $92 times in a row. Maybe something's happened to him. Maybe he's had 1 extra bottle of beer. Maybe he's bored. Who knows? Because raising wasn't his thing earlier, and now it doesn't seem to be. I could be misremembering, but it seemed passive. And all of a sudden he's like raised 2 buttons in a row to nearly 4x. Could just be a coincidence. I guess we're just going to play for all of it here. Just got. Do we have to? Can we just fold? Oh, I love that. Again, we'll take the little wins. Called that way too quickly. Didn't consider our friend behind us here. If he leads again, we're just going to fold now, I think. We can't fold for 90 though, so we're just going to call. While he keeps betting 90, we have to keep clicking call, don't we? Expect to lose a lot, but again. If he makes it 90 again from the small blind, we'll certainly be 3-betting for value with ace-10 suited. So here we have 2 overs, a good shot and a backdoor flush draw. I don't typically c-bet these boards, but I do in that exact situation. 4x out of the blue from this fellow, who knows what that means. Tempted to overlimp down table 4 against Abramov. I think King 4 is probably just a little bit too wide. I think it'd be fine if you're like in an anti-game or a game with antis. I think it'd be fine, but when there's no antis, probably no real compelling reason to do it. Eid Mubarak, is that some sort of religious festival? Eid? Is it just been Eid? I think. Is it Eid? Eid? Is at the end of Ramadan? I'm not sure. I think it is. So, happy Eid to this. I don't know if it's still going on. Don't know how long Eid lasts for. Don't mean to be ignorant. Certainly not trying to offend anybody or be racist. And like the least racist person on the planet. If it still is Eid, and there are any guys celebrating it, then I hope you have a good time. I'm going to triple barrel here. Which I don't want to have a good time over Eid. I still want his chips. Still want your money, I'm afraid, sir. Hope you have a smashing time, but give me your money. Two tables, this Eid character, so not full stacked on either, so I'm going to have to imagine that he's some kind of weak regular or just some fish that's playing two tables. We're just calling with the 8-9 because of this player here, and well, it was because of this player here too. Again, typically I don't always call with 8-9 suited, but when there's like perceived weaker players to go behind me, I will do it. Now we're going to fold. Just going to keep clicking pot against Abramov. Saw him do this last time with like use the same sizing for multiple streets. Wasn't really sure what to make of it because his hand did improve significantly on the river. Now obviously we can't do anything here. We're just going to hope he doesn't have a blue one, which he doesn't. His turn raise there, sorry, his turn call there is clearly very poor, but whatever. So another 4x from our friend here on table 3. Ace's bot was doing that earlier. Not saying it could be Ace's bot, but it might be. Ace's bot was playing tons of tables, wasn't he? Then disappeared. He was like min raising or 4xing. Could be the same guy. It's the kind of thing that can happen on Unibet, and just need to just be mindful of it. Not that it really matters that much if it is the same player. We didn't know that much about Ace's bot, but it's nice just to pay attention. Particularly exciting flop for the ace deuce on table 2. Looks like we'll be hoping for some 3s, 4s and 5s on table 4. Don't like her putting extra money in, but given that we're getting ridiculous odds pre-flop and closing the action, I think it's okay. It isn't 4x, so we're going to see what happens when we 3-bet versus his 3x. Stink if we got raced on table 2 there. It would really stink. But we didn't, so it's all good. It might sound weird to you there, because I know a lot of guys will be like happy to get it in there with a nut flush draw and gamble. But if we do get raced in that spot, what do we hope we're up against? Given that we've got spades in our hand, so we can't be raising us with flush draws, etc. We're in a situation where you probably just have to go with it once you 3-bet and c-bet, but more than happy just to pick the pots up. We're raising Ad Mubarak on this turn if he's double barrels. Hopefully he goes to the big double barrel. Doesn't. Probably means he just doesn't have anything. So I don't think he has anything. There's no point betting small really. We may as well just bet large for the times that I'm wrong. And that he's check calling or check raising or something. On dry boards, when you're thinking people are weak, you can just bet small and hope to get caught by second pair or whatever. But on wetter boards, yeah, most of the time when you bet flop check turn, they're just check folding. But you may as well bet big for the times that they're not, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Which I have a bad accent 3 tables, which is surprising given how moderate I guess he is. I wanted to play the Jack 8 suited, but I think he's still a little bit too loose. And for some reason this table didn't pop back up. We've been 3-bet, 115 more to call. Again, I don't like it. It's ace-10 off suit. I'd rather just choose a better size so I could fold, to be completely honest. I think putting the 115 or whatever is just not great, because this is usually what's going to happen. It's just a bad player using a really shitty 3-bet size with the value, with the strong hand. And usually that just ends up happening where we just end up being forced to call the small 3-bet and then fold most flops. It's irritating. I'd rather have made that 225 there and I could just got the fuck out of the way. Well, it is what it is. Never mind. Check back here and call lots of safe rivers. That wouldn't be a safe river. Pot is very small though. If he pots it, I won't be happy. Could contemplate value betting here, betting small enough to get called by an 8. But we're not going to. Yeah, it has an auto c-bet here. I think they'll do something quite exploitable and just take a small stab at this. If he raises, then whatever, we just fold. If he calls, I can think about just barreling off. I want to kind of leave it so I can just bomb the river for like about pot, so 270 here works nicely. You can like bomb the river for 10 euros. And it's just like kind of force him to maybe think about calling twice with just ace high and then hopefully bluff him if on the river. It's kind of the strategy there. And then of course sometimes he just folds turns after like making a loose flop call. The jack's good because it improved our equity to an open ender, but it also hits him a little bit too, which is it hits his like ace jacks, king jacks, shit like that he's been messing around with. And when we do get raised there and he shoves this, it's kind of a pisser because you've been blown off your equity, but it's a line that works pretty well. Small stab versus miss c-bet in 3-bet pots with a view to barreling off. Because most people just c-bet when they've got the big stuff. You know, they 3-bet high cards and big pairs. They c-bet all the big pairs. They sometimes c-bet the high cards, sometimes they check them and just try and be stubborn with them. I'm starting to get somewhat tired now, as you can see by the time on the video. It's getting late here in Blighty, but the games are good, so we'll stick at it. This time he folded for 330, didn't he, on the table up here? So we'll try the same dance again. He doesn't know it's us, because obviously we've got different players, different screen names. Which is handy for us, not so handy for him. I think I should have barreled, I should have c-bet the turn on table 4 there, but I was too engrossed in the 3-bet pot. It was a slam dunk c-bet on the turn. We had the 2 overs, the flush draw, etc. should have. It's a C bet I should have made. It's a, sorry, it's a turn barrel. A turn bet I should have made 100% of the time. The fact that it didn't is just a mistake on my part, and quite a big one. Sometimes I check when I've got like nut flush on 2 overs, but on a king high board where we can just get some forward equity too. Start by betting, see what happens. I'm not sure how much of a comeback we've made during this video, but certainly made a comeback of some description. I think we're at our lowest point. We're pretty low. I think we're like 5 buy-ins down. It feels like I've made at least a buy-in and a bit back. Tempted to check this river and just get a check raising. It would lose some value from time to time, but tempted to get a check raising on both actually. It's a shame that we definitely missed value there. Yeah, I'm going to go for a check raise on this one too, because he can have 10 that's going to bet. He can have missed diamonds that's going to bet. Can't call with that. I think both those checks are okay. Disappointed with the ace queen one. I guess we could just have gone bet to get value from an ace, because it's just likely he has one checks back flop, calls turn. But again, against a regular there, I would definitely have bet a third time, because they're going to want to bet with me bluffs, and they're going to check back an ace a lot of the time. But against someone who thinks a fish, who would think might bet an ace if they get checked to, therefore allowing us at least a chance to get a check raise. And I think it's better. I quite like going for check raising rivers against fish, because they will like bet worse hands and then just get confused, whereas regulars won't. So they just check back the marginal made hands and stuff. Bet this turn and probably check back the river, given it's like a 3-bet pot, and people could definitely have like better queens that check call here. Queen jack suited, king queen, ace queen. Yeah, won't be looking to bet this river. I'm going to take our showdown value. Hope he has a pair at hand like pocket tens, pocket jacks, that type of thing. The higher queen, obviously we had an ace queen there, or even maybe a king queen, we will bet twice. But with the queen 10, I think we just get into slightly too much into value owning territory. And by that I mean like value owning ourselves. I'm really pleased that this video has been dead long, and no doubt not many. In fact, let's have a little test. Let's have a test. If you got to this part of the video type in the name of your favourite poker player in the comments. Nothing else. Don't say why you've done it. Just type the name of your favourite poker player in the comments. Let's see how many people actually make this point of the video. I mean, I hope you have, because it's a good demonstration of how getting buried early doesn't necessarily mean you have to throw in an absolute fucking howler of a session. Because we've made somewhat of a recovery. It's hard to say exactly how much of a recovery, but I wouldn't be surprised if I made over 2 buy-ins back. Or maybe 3 buy-ins. Which is obviously really good from when you've been buried 5. It's something to be proud of, because lots of guys get buried 5 and they end up stuck 10. Or they just quit. But I identified they were still in good games and I continued playing. If the games were bad, unquestionably I would just have quit them. But I identified they were still good games. I identified that possibly we could end up in a reasonable situation. We could get back to... Wow. We just need to raise here, don't we? Because we've got lots of money that needs to go in. And we call, we can't really get the money on the river, so yeah, it's going to raise big. Jam the river. Just going to hope he has the 2 pairs here. Maybe he just had that bet calling or flush draw on the turn, who knows. It's not where you can expect to get called a decent amount, because if you wouldn't think of bluffing here after you get called on the turn, you wouldn't really feel like bluffing on the 4 of clubs river. It's kind of unfortunate that we didn't get the money there, but I guess he just had a draw, or maybe a stubborn 1 pair. But we set up stacks that jam the river comfortably, so doing anything less than jamming would be a mistake. But again, it just keeps us chugging away and chugging away. And closer to restoring our dignity. I might only be stuck like a buy-in and a half. Now, maybe it didn't go down as far as 5 buy-ins as well. But it feels like we've clawed €75 back, which isn't to be sniffed at. I'm really pleased. That you might not be surprised to hear that now, given I've gone on about it so long. But I'm really pleased with the video. And don't forget, if you've reached this point in the video, just stick the name of your favourite poker player. Tempted to value bet versus Abramov there, given that he's capable of just like calling with ace high and queen high and shit. I've absolutely no fucking clue what's going on with that bet size, but I think we can fold to it. I've got the 4x coming this time from 85, and we are pretty deep, so we're not going to give him like a cheap flop, that's for sure. given his 4x and how deep we are, that I don't believe is an inappropriate 3-bet size. It might look fucking huge, and he might well fold, but you know, given that we're deep, given his 4x, we just need to reflect that with our sizing. Would have been quite grim if he'd have raised there. We would have had to go with our hand, of course, but one of those spots where you just hope he calls and he's got like king queen or ace king or something, and then he just like side calls it off all the way down. It's not a particularly good flop on table 4 for our actual hand. Pot size donk, right? Let's see if we can figure out what he's doing that with. Not the first time he's done it, and not the first time we don't get to see a showdown when he does do it. Pots it here, we're just going to fold. Starting to get really quite tired now, but we still have reasonably good games, so I don't want to pack in just yet. I think when Abramov goes, I think we'll call it a night. Just have Storybro here, who's clearly not a regular dingo, who's clearly got mistakes in Reggae Shark, Raccoon, what the fucking hell his name is. This character here, so we still have good tables, so still in good games, but I am starting to feel myself flag. It has been a massive video already at 1:45. Well, I feel keeping recordings probably keeping me more awake and alert than I would be had I not been recording. I've been much more vulnerable to like switching off at this point and maybe going into some bad, shitty autopilot. We're not going to fell Abramov if we keep missing against him, are we? That's for sure. There he goes again. Just 30 in the pool now, so there's every chance if I'm about to quit these games or this 85 character quits, we could end up with the session just collapsing quite quickly. And we don't need small pairs all night from early position, but we do have 2 fish in the blinds, so let's give it a whirl. Only want a 3-bet here and just have him jam. When it's 50 blinds, he probably can't just jam, can he? If he does, when we just fold, I guess. And this guy's called jams. He hasn't done anything, sorry bro. I haven't seen him be aggressive for the whole session, so we're certainly not going to pay him off when he randomly decides to stick his chips in. Although we are getting to the time of night now where people just say, fuck it, I want to go to bed. And start doing silly things, but nevertheless, I'm not just going to call it off with Ace Queen to a cold 4-bet versus someone who's been pretty docile. I'm about it looks like he might be starting to get his dancing shoes on with his 3-betting, so we'll bear that in mind. Straight flush draw on table 4. King shouldn't improve people too much. I'm going to take a second stab here. King should be a decent scare card to anyone who's been in there. He's like an 8. Oh, who knows what. We get min raise, which is incredibly unfortunate. Because now we just have to call and hope. Well, not min raise, it's way more than min raise, let me just think. Anyway, we still can't fold, given that strength of our draw. Boom. And I'm just going to shove this river myself because it's been to check back a lot. And giving him min raise a turn, I'm going to usually give that credit for someone who's got like 2 pair plus. So I'm expecting a call here a decent amount of the time, like a crying call from King Jack. King 8 suited. Maybe a set of 4s that got a bit cute on the flop. Anyway, didn't work out. We didn't get the call. Never mind. Still think leading's the right thing to do. bit of an overbet here. Well, it's not a pot size bet. I'm not going to fold a pair with backdoors for like 4 blinds. I'm not in love with that turn. I mean, I'm happy with it that it's improved us, but it does hit 9-8 for this character. I'm not going to fold against this guy. I don't think anyway. Maybe if he jams, we might have to. Bottom 2 versus a check jam here wouldn't be nice. We just have to call it, don't you think? Happy days. Didn't like it. Really, really didn't like it. And against a better player, I would have found a fold there for sure. It's exactly what we talked about earlier. When we had 2 pairs 2 or 3 times against Fish and we lost every time. Against a good player there, I think we just have to fold. He's just going to have way too much equity against us. But against a bad player, he can just have like enough worse hands to be like, oh, crying call time. So I'm really pleased with it. I'm going to end the video right there now because this table's going to die. We've done what we wanted to do, which was stack Mr. Mubarak, or whatever he was called, and we've pretty much recovered from what was a horrendous do. So we'll look where we're at. I think I started, we'll have a look at the end anyway, we'll sit at all our tables. I think I started this session with 465 on the account. So we'll see where we're at the end of it. Started the session with 465, I think. So we'll see where we end up. Might end up close to even, which would be a phenomenal recovery. There we go. That is the end of the session. Let's close this table off. Let's get the lobby up. 454. So we ended up losing €11. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that because yeah, we were stuck, weren't we? We were stuck in quite a way. So that hopefully you guys who have stuck it till the end can draw some inspiration from this and like not give up on your own sessions. Next time you'd stuck 3 or 4 buy-ins and you're tilted, you know, just make a deal with yourself. Just like, right, let's just get one back. Because you remember, it's not all about the session you're in. It's about like cash games, just one long session that we just have breaks from. So yeah, next time you stuck 4 buy-ins, make it your intention, make it your goal to your intention. Fucking, I'll go full on the ground. Make it your goal to just say, well, let's just see if we can't just win the €25 back. Let's see if we can't win a buy-in back. See if we can't win 2 buy-ins back. And yeah, just push yourself to not let yourself down basically, and just see where it goes. So we'll leave it there. It's been a monster video. If you've made it to the end, congratulations, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.